What's good? What's good? What's good? You from Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill. Yo, I got a packed house in here with me today. As always, ladies first. Porsche, what's going on?
How are you, Kill?
Oh man, everything is good. Everything is good. I got a special guest, my man Gadget, runs Scratch Magazine. Anything you think about Scratch, whatever, this is all him. My guy from Philly. What's going on, man?
Appreciate it, man. Glad to be here.
Nah. More importantly than anything, man, I want Frank, what's going on in your crib, man? It's like mad noise in your background, man.
All right, let me mute myself then. That's the family. They at the stove getting food, so.
Yeah, so just mute yourself until you talking. I'm like, yo, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Why you ain't in the back cave, man?
Oh, I'm about to go in there.
All right. I'll wait till you go in there and I'll start over again, man.
All right. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get started. I'll start over and then we'll get in. What's good? What's good? What's good? You two in Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill, man. Got a packed house with me tonight. Porsche, as always, ladies first. What's good, miss?
How's it going, Kill?
Everything is dope. Special guest, my man Gadget, Scratch Magazine. Anything you've seen about Scratch, all that stuff, it's my man Gadget. What's good, fam?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm well. Thank you for inviting me tonight.
Nah, no doubt, man. Yo, and here's the other thing. I usually say this to the end, but this is super important to me. Yo, when my man Tay got murdered, the first person to reach out to me was Gadget. Said, get on my podcast. Let's find out who did this. And then like 3 days later, they arrested 2 people. So again, to this day, man, I really applaud you and salute you for opening up your podcast for that, man. It meant a lot to me.
Hey, thank you, man. My door is open to you anytime.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. I got my brother Ev. And you know, if Ev, Nick, and JP are here, we gonna be arguing. It's like a lineup of basketball. You know, if like Ron Artest and Lance Stevenson, they all on the same team and they hooping. What's going on, good brother?
Peace. Everything is good, man. I feel like I need to put a hat on. Everybody got hats on.
Hey, Brian.
I might just in the middle of the show, I might just throw a random hat on because
JP look cold.
The program too, you know?
Yeah, it's cold in the basement. It's cold down here, you know.
Yo, and Ev calling me, blowing me up about buying my MP. That nigga MP in the bag. Is it even on?
It's on the table right there, right next to the record player where it should be.
But it's
now, where is yours? Look, you reach it down on the floor, Kill, on the floor.
Yo. The more
he put up something earlier today with him and Nah, and you saw the MP on the stand. It had the little cover on it. He was taking nice care of it. Look, you get machine, the MP just like, get the fuck out of
here. Whatever, man. Your joint ain't even plugged up. I see that keyboard next to you is plugged up, but
no, the MP's tied in. It's tied in. I didn't turn it. It's not on right now, but it's tied in.
I got you. JP, what's good, good brother?
What's good, brother?
Oh man, everything is everything. Nick, what's good?
Ready to go, man.
All right, well, y'all already know me and my man DJ Rec One. What's going on, Rec?
What's going on, man? I had to make some moves real quick.
Right, I see. Now you back to normal. Now we back to normal. Yo, let's
What's up, everybody?
What's going on? Let's jump right into it. Yo, the other day I was wondering, man, like, yo, producers literally just vanished. Like, literally, one day they are on top and then they vanish. And I'm trying to figure out why that is, because it doesn't happen to MCs. Like, you can see an MC rise, their peak, and they kind of fall off. Where some of these producers, like, were at their peak and literally just disappeared, and I have no idea why. We're gonna be chopping up about that today. So let's get straight to it. Gadget, what is one of your producers who just disappeared out of nowhere? Where was the last time? We doing this on some old. For the young people who watch, I don't even think they do it no more. But back in the day, they used to put your face on a milk carton if you was missing. So where is the, and I know new cats is like, what the fuck? But yeah, we used to do that back in the day. You buy some milk for your cereal and you see kids who were missing. Where did these producers disappear to? Who's your first one, Gad?
And this really hurts my heart, man, because he really made some. He made some classic songs. Ayatollah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I followed him on my IG.
Yeah, Ayatollah's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last record he made?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So I'll say this about Ayatollah. I know for a while he was rocking. I want to say he had a couple of independent like instrumental albums that was like out like in the early 2000s. But yeah, you're right, Optimist. I'll tell you this: he owns one of my favorite songs, "Like" with Styles P and Pharoah. Like that beat is my favorite beat. Like that joint is crazy, and of course, Miss Fat Booty. He was doing that raucous stuff for a while, but like post 2000, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You got any ideas of what happened, man?
I have no idea, man. Like, who'd you say he did a song for? Mocha Only?
He produced the album for Mocha Only.
Oh, he did a joint for Mocha Only? Okay. Mocha Only's out of Canada.
Yeah, I guess they did a whole album together. Logic Bomb is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess they did an album together. I never heard it, though.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I would say dude disappeared. Anybody else got any ideas on what happened to the boy Ayatollah out of Queens?
Just fell out of domain.
That sound died out, man.
Yeah, that sound.
Now here's the thing, but what was the sound? Because I felt like his sound was just regular soul.
It was like boom bap. Yeah, boom bap, soul sample.
Yeah,
it fell out of favor.
Man.
People stopped clearing samples. They're like, we ain't trying to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess one of my questions is gonna be later on. I'll save it till we get to a couple more, but I definitely got a question about that. Rec, who's one of yours, man?
Man, this dude, man, I still don't understand why we don't hear nothing from this guy. And he was heavy in the 90s, man. Buck Wild, yo. Buck Wild is on the milk carton, man. This dude had a whole sound to itself. And like you said, it's sample based, but I just don't understand why this dude can't get a placement or, we can't hear from him.
Y'all got to listen to he did an album with Mayhem Loren.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
4 years ago called Silk Pyramids. Check it out.
4 years ago. All right.
4 years ago. Check it out. Silk Pyramids.
Now here's the question, nigga. Is it dope though?
Yeah. Mayhem Loren.
Yeah.
All right.
Mayhem Loren.
Yeah, it's dope.
And Buck Wild. Silk Pyramids.
Silk Pyramids.
All right.
And before then, he had a placement on the Game album. And that beat was fire.
Yeah, that Sun joint. It was about him becoming a dad, right?
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I thought he's talking about Martin Luther King on the song because he had like something in the background that said King. I gotta look that up.
Okay.
He had the joint on the documentary, like Father Like Son.
Yeah.
Seen on the documentary joint. He had that joint, but keeping in mind the documentary may have been 2004, 2005 or something. So we still talking a brick. All right, Ev, who you got, man?
I'm gonna do an engineer just because the producers that I have, I know they're gonna come up in the show, and I don't want to bring them up too soon. So I'm just gonna do one of my favorite engineers. I don't know what happened to him, Eddie Sancho. Where the fuck is Eddie Sancho? Like, to me, he contributed so much to Primo's sound. And I think the last one that they did was, I believe, was Warriors album, the MOP joint. And, I don't know what happened, but I haven't heard about that cat since then.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I remember Eddie was the one who actually got Preem on the MPC 62.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about that.
The last time I heard of Eddie was on this joint, was on the Havoc and Alchemist joint. He engineered.
Okay.
Because it got me hyped. And I don't know if you remember, as soon as I read the listings, I hit you like, yo.
Right, that's right.
What year was that?
This is
16, 15.
16. Okay. You're getting old when you gotta start looking at stuff like this. 2016.
But he's probably been missing since D&D closed, right?
Yeah, I would go out on a limb and say yeah. And my belief on that is that, and Young Guru had posted this a while ago, saying that as producers nowadays, you got to be your own engineer. So as we saw the powerhouse studios that we grew up loving, the D&Ds and the Green Streets and all those studios closing, I think the engineer just kind of closed right along with it because it became, okay, now I can record at my house. So why am I paying this engineer X amount of dollars to do that where I can kind of just do it myself and everything like that? So I kind of blame the death of the engineer on the death of studios, and ever since that happened, it kind of like, but yeah, Eddie Sancho, I noticed something was different with Preem's sound after Eddie left. So it's just a testament to how I've always said the engineer was like, Pete Rock. We say.
I also would add too. I think some of the deafening engineers is come by way of the type of formatted files that we listen to today aren't as thick or as weighted as the formats of its previous self. Okay. So I think now, because you can kind of get away with having more of a flat sound, or you can get away with having like not much of a mixed, well mixed album, because it's okay, because you're just gonna throw it online anyway. That's the idea. So unfortunately, you get a lot of stuff that's just not, the quality is not as good, and and it leads to what it is now. Like, you just have a lot of engineers who not on projects because a lot of their budgets have been cut tremendously. I know a couple of engineers who just like, they used to have this kind of budget. Now, it's to say cut by 50% it's much deeper than that now. So a lot of cats is like, it's not even worth me even doing it no more, because it doesn't add up anymore. So I think that plays a part. I mean, just the technology.
Now tell me this, Ev, because me and Ev are starting this hashtag Ask the Engineer by Ev being an engineer. Just a roundabout figure, like, what do you think Eddie Sancho was getting paid 95, 96 D&D heyday? Like, just a ballpark figure of what?
Oh man, to be very honest with you, I have no idea. Only because the numbers
are we talking 100,000? Are we talking 50,000? Like, I'm just
I wouldn't think he was getting 100,000, but you never know. But I think for a project, depending how long, and during this time too, the projects take longer time. It was, people were dedicating more time to actually putting these projects out. Right. So all that goes into play, whether you're doing a monthly thing with the major label, or whether you're just doing a whole plotted bucket kind of thing. It can go a couple of different ways, but it's hard to say. I wouldn't say 100,000, maybe 50,000.
How much is Preem getting?
I don't know how much Preem was getting a track back in the day. Like, you always heard about Pharrell and the Neptunes getting 100,000. I don't know what Preem's fee was back then, but Eddie Sancho, it's almost like anything that came through D&D, he mixed, outside of the big people, like Jay would come to D&D, but then he would usually get it mixed somewhere else. But if you wanted to rock with Primo, you had to come to D&D to record. Right. I don't know where you would get it mixed or whatever like that, but all right, now that's a dope joint. Eddie Sancho. JP, who you got?
This cat, man, he was a big influence really in the early 2000s, and I'm gonna have to go with Rich Harrison. He, most notably, he did Amerie's first early stuff, especially her first album, which is one of my favorite R&B albums of that era. Crazy in Love for Beyonce, of course, and a lot of things. The last thing I heard him on was about 3 years ago. Amerie put out an EP, and he did one track on that EP. It was like a 6-7 song EP. So. But his sound was, he came under Chucky Thompson. So, he had a lot of hits. Like that early 2000, once that Beyonce Crazy Love hit, everybody wanted that sound. He did stuff for Toni Braxton. She wanted, all that type of stuff. Marsha Ambrosius, and, things like that. So, and after that, I didn't hear too much from him. Every little pieces here and there, but 2016 was the last time I heard him do something. And that wasn't even nothing big. Her EP didn't do big numbers or anything like that. A lot of people probably didn't know she put out an EP in 2016.
Yeah. Now, Rich was one of mine. And when I was chopping up with Chuck one time, we were talking about him. And it's one of those things where I don't think nobody really knows what happened. I know for a lot of things, it felt like, I was reading this thing why, I guess him and Amerie split, and it was like we talked about last week. Like she kind of felt like he was giving away their sound, that sound. Because if you listen to the joint he did for Toni Braxton, I think it's called that. It just came a point where Rich was just sampling the meters, like them drums. I mean, the meters was the Amerie one thing, the meters was the ring. But that's what happens is it's like people are like, yo, give me, I want that sound. So I don't know if he kind of played himself out with the sound. And even with Amerie, I just feel like that's one of them groups that I want to do a show about that. Like, why do people always go to other producers? Because it never adds out to what it started when it was you. Like, I don't want to hear Amerie album unless it's with Rich Harrison. Like, sure, just dropped like a double album that nobody gave a fuck about because it was like, where's Rich? It's like CL dropping the album. Pete ain't doing it all. Right. I can do that next week. Like, nobody cares about it unless that. But yeah, Rich is one of them dudes who, again, that nigga did Soldier with Destiny's Child. I love that joint. Like that was one of my bangers. You know what I mean? And you know, like you said, dude just kind of faded away. But I know A. Marie kind of felt some kind of way, like he was giving like that sound to Beyonce and Tony Braxton. He should have kept that sound with us.
I got to cop some pleas for A. Marie though. Like the album where she sampled Ultramagnetic, that was actually wasn't a bad album.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. I actually have a best of A. Marie mix, and everything isn't rich. But the funny thing is, the stuff that isn't rich still has
Sounds like rich.
Exactly. So it was like, okay, we ain't got rich. But then the other thing was, I heard they used to mess with each other. You know what I mean?
I heard that too.
So it's like one of those things where I'm sure the husband's like, yo, you used to bang this dude. Like, you ain't gonna be up in the studio with him,
right?
4/7 or whatever. Like that. Same thing with Crucial Keys. He's like one of my extra joints. Like he was down with Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Each other, but then as soon as her and Swiss got together, you know, he got to take the L too. So you know, a lot of that mixing business with pleasure. You know, it happens. Nick, who you got?
I'm gonna go underground a little bit, lesser known. Even though he had a hit, dude named Easy LP. So he did get money. Yeah, he did Get Money for Junior Mafia, Bloody Money for Noriega, Capone Noriega. He had a lot of dope placements. He did produce for Artifacts.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't LP do Worldwide for Royal Flush?
Yes.
No, that was crazy.
No, you know what? No, he didn't. He didn't. I always mess with this producer, but Nas Boy did that.
Oh,
LES. So I had to give LES props on that. He did have some on that Royal Flush.
Right.
But, yeah, man, he most of the like the street New York rap from like 96, 97, 98, he had placements on the album, and then he just vanished.
He did Uchi Wally.
He did Uchi Wally?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I had no idea. All right, Porsche, who you got?
I got Easy Mo Bee. He was like, I love Ready to Die, and he was largely to thank for the sounds out of there. And I honestly have no idea what happened, and I don't know how you can do something like Ready to Die and then what happened to you? Like you're not getting calls and you're not getting placed, and it's weird to me. And then while I was actually like looking for Easy Mo Bee today, I came across this interview he did last year, and he said that he actually got like shafted in the Notorious movie. Like he was supposed to be around kind of for that, and they totally bypassed him. So I don't know what happened there, and I don't know what he's up to these days. But yeah, like what happened to Easy Mo Bee? I like Easy Mo Bee's joints. I don't know. I mean, I don't think this panel loves Ready to Die as much as I do, but
I do.
I love Ready to Die.
I like Ready to Die.
Okay, sorry for saying the panel. I'm gonna assume Nick because he always gets on me about being a Biggie fan, but but anyway,
always.
Easy Mo Bee. I don't know where he is. I want him back. I want those Ready to Die beats back. So
Yeah.
I will say this. I got a philosophy on Mo Bee, because my philosophy on Mo Bee is, so he's doing this big stuff. He gets like, I think he did 2 or 3 on Life After Death. But I want to say this may mix in with some Bink hoopla, because you look at the blueprint and it's Bink, Just Blaze, and Kanye.
Right.
The difference with that is Just and Ye went
Sound to rock
management. They went with I think it was like Hip Hop since '87.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That they signed to that management, and Bink stayed to himself. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes those things can come into play. So especially when you have powerful people like Puff and Jay, where it's like, yo, get down with us. And then when you say, well, you don't want to get down with them, like, nah, I'm good doing
here's the thing. Actually, you just reminded me, in that same interview that I read today, and I have the link, so if anyone wants it, I can send it out. But he did mention that he was waiting around for Jay-Z and Biggie to do a track together in the studio, and they completely didn't show up. Like he was waiting around, and he didn't show up. And I think it was asked in the interview, like, you know, how did you feel about that? And he was like, I was hurt. I was disappointed. I couldn't believe they did that. I was waiting around forever. So I don't know. Maybe there was a thing there.
Puff made them calls, boy. Dry them calls up.
I mean, and that's why I was saying that when you kind of, you know, these dudes got egos. So like if a Puff or Jay is saying, yo, rock with us, because when you really look at the work that Justin Ye got versus Bink got, you know, they all were part of the same album. You do have to sit back and wonder, like, damn, like Bink had bangers on the blueprint. Like,
exactly.
Set it off, and he ended it, and he don't get nearly as love.
Right. Not even 25% of.
Right, not even 25%. So I think that maybe that's just my philosophy on
what it is. What it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could even remember when him and Young Guru. I don't know if you remember the back and forth they had on Twitter.
Yeah.
Every time they bring up the blueprint, Bink is always forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about Ye contribution, Just Blaze. They just act like Bink wasn't a part of the album.
Yeah.
So
I seen that today when I was looking around for stuff. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That could be it. I'm gonna go with one of mine, and I got a question. One of the people I'm gonna go with out of Philly. A lot of people may not know this dude, Chad West Hamilton.
I was gonna put him on my list, but I said no.
Of course.
Chad West property. The best thing now, the last time this dude was seen was like 2004. He did the Young Guns. He did a lot. And I used to always call him. I felt like he was the B-C list producer for Rockefeller. And that's no. No. That's
the same thing.
That's no disrespect to his beats, but for some reason he didn't get like the J placements or the B placements. He got like the you do the Young Guns and you do PD.
Better Love joint.
You do them, but no Better Love for Young Guns with the Luther sample.
That was crazy.
He got a PD Crack mixtape with beats that's crazy. Chad West just had beats for days. But the last time I saw that boy was Gotta Have It. You know, Gotta Have It.
Going
yeah, Gotta Have It off of B
Crack and Twister.
Be coming. Yeah,
off the Be Coming. That's the last time I seen him. Now here's the funny thing. And doing the research, y'all will not believe what this dude is doing now.
Oh, I know because I interviewed him.
Oh, well, there you go. See, again, that's why I had to get you in here. This dude is the head men's and women's tennis coach for LaSalle University in Philly.
Word?
No, he's the head men's and women's tennis coach for LaSalle University.
He was like number 15 in the country at one point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's right. Money.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I was not expecting that one. But yeah, that's one of my people, Chad West. Now let me ask y'all this. Because Nick, you said when I asked about Easy LP, you was like, well, that boom bap style got played out. So what do y'all look at as underground hip hop right now? Like when you think underground in 2019, like Alchemist. But here's the thing: what do you define Alchemist's sound as? Because to me, it's
still rooted in boom bap, sample heavy.
Yeah.
He's just using different samples. He's not using soul samples anymore.
Right. So is boom bap played out? Like,
nah, I don't never play out. It's just not going to be the premier sound like it was in the 90s.
Whatever the kids are listening to is the popular sound.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's being represented on the radio. That's what's being requested.
Citizen music. That's mainly what he's saying. It's cool to have a senior party every once in a while. You know?
But here's the thing, and the reason why I asked that, because I'm thinking like on Fontane's last album, Marco Polo, who I feel like is a boom bap producer.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not even talking about like the radio or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like Marco Polo like got a placement on Fontane's last album.
Right.
Which was very boom bapish. To be honest with you, sounded very Just Blaze-ish when I first heard it. But you know, so do y'all feel like it's dead or it's still there? Like, because that's why like when it's like Easy LP, well, fell off. You know, nobody's in the boom bap. But I'm like, is that why dude fell off? Because there's still boom bap producers out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It depends on who you know too. Because I mean, if nobody reaching out to you, you can't work.
And also like a lot of people have evolved. Like Cool and Dre are actually doing boom bap. They're just using trap drums.
True. Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
So it's just.
I mean, listen to All the Way Up. That's a boom bap beat.
That's a boom bap joint.
Yeah. It's just using trap drums.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
All right. No doubt. All right, Gadget, give me another dude.
Okay. But before I go into this next dude, I want to go back to Easy LP a little bit. You know, Easy LP manages producers now. So the producer he manages produced for Lil Yachty and Cardi B. So he's producing managers now.
Oh wow.
And you know, he was just sampled for Lil Wayne Uproar. So I mean, he did produce something this year.
A retool.
Yeah. Come on, Swiss. All right. Next on my list is Young Lord.
Oh,
Okay.
Like I haven't heard anything from him since what's the big pun joint? You're Not a Killer.
yeah.
Like I haven't heard anything after that.
Wow.
I know he had like a little.
He had his own. He had his own.
Yeah, he had his own label, little subpar joint in like 2000, was it?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. It was Red.
Yeah,
And
I think I have it in the crates over here.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't think a lot of them dudes disappeared. And the time I interviewed Chucky, he was talking about, because I asked him, I was like, yo, I just felt like Puff blackballed y'all niggas. Like after the Hitmen left Bad Boy, like I'm like, yo, when you think about the music and the hits that this group of people produced, it's like how Portia was saying with Easy Mo B, like, how is nobody messing with, you know, the Hitmen? Like, how are y'all not messing with
D-Dot,
like, how are y'all not messing with Nasheem? But according to Chucky, he didn't feel like they were blackballed. He felt like everybody went on to do their own thing, but they didn't realize how much work doing your own thing was. Whereas when you're working with Puff, Puff is doing all the work to get these people in the studio, and now all you got to do is show up.
Produce, yeah.
Now you got your own deal. Now you got to go do all the work, and you got to do all the leg work to get the So Chucky's thing now, again, the Hitman is like 12 of them niggas. So somebody else may be like, nah, he did, blackballs or whatever. But that was Chucky's take. That was like, yo, when it's easier just to be like, when you got a job, you show up at your job, got the work you got to do on your desk. You ain't got to go find I don't have to find grants for my organization and do all of that stuff. I just show up and do what I'm paid for. But then when you start your own business and now you got to look for grants and you got to get a board and you got to do all this other work, it may be like, shit, I was better off being a producer. And then again, I just feel like, again, you got egos. I think if you leave Puff, there ain't no coming back. You know what I mean? Like, if
I can see that. Yeah,
and that's kind of messed up, because if you look at Jay, everybody that was in his circle 10 years ago was still in his circle.
Well, I don't know. I think him and Just had a falling out. I don't know about what, but I remember with that whole Jay Elect thing when Just was doing it, and he felt that Jay was going to sign Jay Elect, not Jay-Z. Jay Elect was going to sign the Bad Boy, because if you remember on Exhibit C, he's like, yo, you should get Puff to come get these votes, do these ad-libs. So he was supposed to be signing with Puff, and Just Blaze was on board with that. But then when he signed with Jay and Rock Nation, then you stopped hearing anything about, Just working with Jay Elect. So, and something happened, because they haven't connected since American Gangster, and that had to be 10
years ago.
12 years ago now.
Yeah.
I thought he said he said other stuff for 444 until Jay just changed his mind and just went a totally different direction with.
Yeah. I mean, good things where I used to get hyped. You'd be like, Jay-Z be like, yo, I'm in the studio with Kanye, Alchemist, Primo, Pete Rock. Get the album. And then the album, and none of them niggas made the cut. Like, yeah, we was in the studio, but it ain't make the cut. Like, I remember that Watch the Throne. Q-Tip was on stage somewhere in Brooklyn talking about, yeah, we in the studio, Watch the Throne come out. I don't see Tip name nowhere.
Nah, Q-Tip was on there.
He was on there.
He was?
Q-Tip,
he was on that album.
Yeah. But see, you gotta.
But was that the extended joint? Because I know, like, Pete Rock had that Joy.
It was on the album.
Oh, it was on the album.
It was on the album, but it ain't sound like Q-Tip.
Right? It wasn't just Tip.
Exactly. Ye gonna yay it up.
But I remember that he was
like, gonna yay it up.
He gonna yay it up. Like, Q-Tip did this. Like, he might take one little element of Q-Tip beat and then.
Oh man!
But I remember them niggas being like, "Yo, we got Premier in the studio. We got niggas like," but that's always been a trick of Satan, that he gonna. Yo, then be like, I'm in the studio with everybody you backpackers love to get y'all hype, and then when y'all buy the album, and all these other niggas, man, they ain't make it. So, Frank, who you got next, man?
The Trick of Satan. Oh shit. Hey man, I'm going with Tone from the Natty, man. High Tech.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he was on my list.
Hell yeah. He on my list too.
I love High Tech, man. Straight up and down. But
It's a good choice.
I think he got the curse of Dr. Dre and the Aftermath camp, man. We ain't seen or heard from this camp since the Revolutions Per Minute joint, and it's been what, 9, damn near 10 fucking years.
Yep.
I think he got that dude held up in a bathroom somewhere with the bass lines and the drums and Young Tone. Young Tone like 15 now. We don't know what's going on with Young Tone, man. On the little intros, man, I'm upset. Young Tone from the Natty. If you see this, I need some shit, man. Stop playing. I need the album.
Yeah, and it's weird because like
Carton, man.
Kweli put out so much music.
Yeah.
And nothing from High Tech is on that joint, man. Like
That's crazy.
Come on, man. Really? Nah, man. I need High Tech somewhere, man.
Yeah, I think the thing with Tech, and Gad, were we talking about it? Somebody was telling me like, you know, once Dre kind of signed you like sign the exclusivity to
Yeah.
and it may just be a situation like this dude may have $1 million, $2 million. Like, I'm sure he's not hurting, but there's some type of exclusivity agreement that once you get down with Aftermath, you really can't do it.
I think they get monthly retainers.
The last time I heard High Tech was on Rhythm Roulette. Like
20 years ago.
You know, he did the joint on Anderson .Paak, the Come On Down joint, the first single.
Okay.
Did that. But that's one of those things where it just popped up out nowhere. And keep again, who's Pac down with? Dre.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like prior to that, like it was like you said, 2010 Revolutions Per Minute. And it's one of those things like, yo, how the fuck do you eat if you ain't made a beat or sold a beat in 9 years? But Gadget, like you said, if you on retainer for Dr. Dre, who's a freaking billionaire, then
you good.
That's how you eat. Your name just ain't out there though. All right, Ev, who you got, man?
My next one, I'm gonna go back a little bit, only because this cat, you know, he put something out in the last maybe like 5-6 years ago, but he used to get called for other people's projects. Diamond D.
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard or seen Diamond D in a little bit, and I was a Diamond D fan, still a Diamond D fan, but I just haven't heard. I don't know, you know, if he's still doing what you know, what's happening, where he's at with everything.
Yeah, I think he's about to come out with the Dime Piece 2. Like I follow him on Instagram. And I know he's been working on that for a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it has been a while since you're right.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And see, here's my thing with Diamond. And I know we're not supposed to say this, but
here we go.
Oh,
here we go.
Hold on. Make sure
that's like disrespect.
Like,
black my picture out so they won't see me during this segment.
Here we go. Right there. Right there.
No, here's the thing. It's to me, it's not even a question of, for me at least, not when's the last time I've heard you, but when's the last time I heard something dope from you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Diamond has come out with projects throughout the years. Like I think if you look at Diamond's discography, he's dropped an album, at least 3 albums in the 2000s, if not more. But I just haven't heard a Diamond D beat that was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm still looking for. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing with, because I remember the last album he put out, we both was hyped for it, and then
it
was like, it's cool, but you know, you for me at least, I'm waiting for like this is fucking Diamond D. I'm waiting for something to be like, I'm waiting for that oh shit moment, and it just wasn't coming. You know what I mean?
Just off of that, like I said, I think he's about to bring out Dime Piece 2 or whatever. And maybe in the last year sometime on his Instagram, I think he was playing some beats with some people. And one of the beats sounded crazy. I'm going to send y'all the link. Once I find it, I'll send y'all the link. But it got me hyped. So I'm kind of excited for it. But like you said, is the whole project going to be, or he just played the hottest joint on the album already? I don't know. So we'll see.
The funny thing about him is I seen an interview where he not that impressed with Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. You know, the album that we all love. Like it was just loops. I'm a better producer than that now. I heard him say that.
So 26 years later, he better.
Yeah, well, I'm
just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, 26 years later, he
that's your best album, bro.
I'm like, well, maybe you need to go back to loops then. Maybe that.
See?
Y'all
always want to get us in trouble.
Just don't want to say it. But yeah, that could be it. And then two, I think with Diamond, here's the wild part. I don't know if you heard the DITC album, the last one they did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
No, I was listening to it and I was like, yo, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. These beats are crazy. These beats are incredible. I get the track listing and half them niggas ain't do them beats.
Yeah, it wasn't them at all.
Really?
Yeah, they brought producers. Like, cause I was like, nowadays I don't want to look at nobody's track listing because I don't want nobody saying, oh, Kill, you didn't like it, because I didn't know who did what. And I was shocked, like, yo, these beats are crazy. And then I looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, like
they got a young stable of producers that come to the studio.
People who I follow, we follow each other on Twitter that I didn't even know. You know what I mean?
I think Jay Clyde from Virginia got some joints on there.
Yeah.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing, that it may just be like these cats that we love, I just don't got it no more. And I know nobody want to hear that shit. You know, every Jordan fan I know don't never want to talk about the Wizards, but it existed. You know what I mean? Nobody want to talk about that shit, but it was good.
And here's the thing about that. Like, I feel like it's not, you know, making beats is not a physical sport. So you shouldn't deteriorate as you get older. I don't feel like that should happen.
I don't feel like
you talking about it. It seems like that's what happens.
Right, but I don't think it should happen either. But then if we try to keep in mind, like I know with MCs, and when I talk to Ev, he'll be like, yo, I'm not in no ciphers no more. Like the stuff that I used to be around to keep me like
sharp.
You gotta stay on top of it. I mean, when it comes to MCs, you gotta stay on top of your thing. But MCs, there is a physicality to it because your breath control plays a big part. So if you're not constantly like on top of your breath control when it comes to your delivery, you're gonna hear it. You know, 20, 30 years later, people are gonna recognize like you're not really delivering the same way because you can't write the same way because you can't deliver the same way.
Jay-Z,
that's
Jay-Z's problem.
Yeah, people want to think exactly.
No,
exactly.
I'm being so serious. Like I love Jay, but I'm being serious. Like at the 444 concert, dude was like sleeping on his mic.
Yeah, like
he was like out of breath, holding the mic, holding him up. Like he couldn't. I've been to every single Jay-Z concert since '97, I want to say.
Why? About 50. Why? Damn, Portuguese. Invest that money. Why are you going to Jay-Z concert?
I've seen Jay because I love Jay, but
I do too.
Jay,
but shit.
But I've seen Jay at his prime. I've seen Jay like upbeat, energetic, and now he's like passing out.
And
he's just
with that, man, a lot of times people change their writing style to fit their physicality. So if they can't keep the same breath, they're gonna write in a way that fits for that. And the problem is you're not getting the same caliber of MC anymore.
Well, what about life experience helps you become a better MC as you grow and you live, you know what I'm saying?
That plays another huge part too.
Right.
The only problem
to talk about
that thing is unfortunately for a lot of MCs, you got sharper because you were in, you know, tough or painful type situations. And of course, as we grow older, I think the scientist is really trying to figure out how to maintain the same element of dirt or whoever you were from your core, from your structure,
right?
And still be relevant at least to yourselves and your peers.
Right.
You might not be relevant to like a 17 or 16-year-old, but there's no reason to me why certain MCs that's in their late 30s, early 40s can't give me an album around who they are today. Like I'm interested in that shit because we all like if I talk to JP, if I talk to Kill, like we can have a lot of similarities in our life because we're around that same age bracket. Right. So there's no reason why I can't get that from an MC as well. But you're absolutely right, man. You know, life experience plays a big part.
And Jay-Z is rapping over different tracks. Like he's rapping over tracks that Migos would rap over.
Exactly.
So it's more simple. So yeah, he's gonna run out of breath.
You know, Jay's longevity is like the best example of almost everything that you want to highlight and point out in all of hip hop. Honestly, it's crazy. But yeah, he's deteriorated for sure. Sorry, it is just what it is. Like, I can't
Damn.
put it
She
any-
big
Build them up to
up.
tail down.
Oh man.
Because you're with me. You the one who got ball. You out here this.
No, but it's the truth.
It's
Like
the
if someone
truth.
can
It
tell
ain't
me,
what it is.
Jay-Z,
No. I feel you, but when I say the truth, people be people
Oh,
talk
man.
icons. People put their icons.
You're just a little abrasive. I don't know.
Yeah.
These niggas is
I'm off the kill.
Just said in a nicer way, Jay-Z is out of shape. He's whack now, but
But the thing is Jay's actually healthier now. Like healthier now than
I'll
he was.
say this.
He's a vegan. He was raw
They
vegan
still
for a
50
while.
though.
Might want to go eat some meat, get his bars back.
Yo, Records on the road tonight, y'all.
Y'all gonna have everybody. Y'all gonna have
yeah, I don't think you need to go back.
Jay-Z fans, Diamond D fans.
But let me say this. Number one, we got to remember. Number one, Jay is still on punishment. That's number one.
Oh, what did I miss?
What do you do?
The Beyonce thing.
Of being
Oh yeah.
is if you cheat, you are going to have 7 years of punishment.
Oh.
Just like Vegas.
Damn.
Stupid pictures looking like you don't want to hear on punishment. Number one. Number two, your lifestyle, like you were saying, JP. I think with Jay's lifestyle, he raps about what his lifestyle is, which is rich. That's why I really didn't like the Carter album, because it felt like you broke motherfuckers. We rich, you not. We in the loop.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
So,
I've never heard it.
now, for me, one of the things I do with my script writing is if I get stuck, I go to the hoodest Popeyes in DC. I sit there, I eat lunch, and if you spend 3 hours in a hood ass Popeyes, you are gonna leave with some
Get some inspiration.
You're gonna leave with some dialogue. I go in there like
smelling greasy.
I walk out in 3 hours with 5 new characters, with some new sayings, with all kinds of stuff. Because I read in an interview once, Rakim said, whenever I get writer's block, I just go live.
Right.
There's no way if you go out into the hood, if Jay went and spent a week in Marcy, like I don't mean like stopped in and left. No, you stay in Marcy, guarantee you he'd have some stories to tell, but that's not his lifestyle right now. And number three, JP, what you were saying about you're not deteriorating. I think some of the dopest music that we all love were made when all these producers were hanging out. Like, you know, like in the 90s, it was like, yo, Tip, Extra P, everybody going record shopping at the Roosevelt, and we going over here and we trading samples and
friendly competition.
Yeah, the friendly competition of like, yo, you know, this, that, you know, I was just reading an interview with Cream, and he was saying, yo, I remember when RZA came to the studio and was telling us about Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Like, this is what he was coming up with. So I think that may play a part with it too, that if you're not around other producers and stuff like that that can maybe push you, then you do kind of become stale in your style or whatever like
this
that.
This could be a whole nother topic. This could be a whole nother show right here.
Yeah.
Because I can go on hours for this. Because this is
I told you we got to be a good show. What you saying that?
And with MCs, because you know how we talk about Common is not as sharp as he used to be.
Nah.
Because at one point, remember him, Black Thought, Mos Def, all of them cats was in the same circle.
Yeah.
And that's how they stayed sharp.
I think it's kind of like jazz, you know, like certain jazz musicians, you know, it was a thing to go home and to practice so you can get sharper. I don't know if that same idea traveled over to hip hop, whereas like cats are actually, you know, you make it, but you got to stay in the lab and really sharpen your skill in order to get better. You're supposed to get better as you get older. You're supposed to get sharper. You're supposed to be nicer. Right. But you're supposed to have the younger cats being like, oh, damn, look what they doing over there. I don't know if that same thing kind of traveled over. I don't know if cats just got comfortable and was like, hey, I'm cool now. Or it could be the Prince theory. Like they could be sitting on a crate of some madness that just they haven't released to the world. So I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt because I want to believe that maybe that's the case. Not that, you know, who knows?
What I'm getting from this is like you thrive under a certain set of circumstances. And once you move from that, you don't thrive anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't
know how I feel about that.
I think one of
well, not if you're like, I'm sorry, Kill. Not if you're like, you know, assuming the idea of practicing and getting sharper. Then at that moment, it doesn't matter where you're living at or what you're doing. Like you're about your craft and you're about getting stronger and getting sharper. So I mean, to me, I think it can go either way.
Right.
And I think it's something like you've got to find something to motivate you. Like with Jordan, he won everything. He did everything. But how did he find different things every year to motivate him to come back? Whether it was an article in the newspaper, oh, the Bulls ain't shit this year. Like, there was always something like they call Pat Riley would say he'd always find some billboard material to put up in the locker room to keep you focused. Because now that these dudes got money or they sitting on something, it's kind of like, well, what do we do now? And then you got a lot of people who can't get those $100,000 checks no more. So now it's like, you know, what's left for me to do? You know, so as in general, you've got to find a way to keep yourself focused. So like for me and you, JP, it may be like, we're not on yet. You know what I mean? We still want to get to that point where people know our name. So maybe that's what's pushing us. But maybe if we got on back in '95 when we was at Morgan, we'd be the old men right now. Somebody would be like, fuck having that nigga killing JP out of Morgan. You know what I mean? You never know, you know, but I just think that that's the thing that you've got to find a way to kind of just keep yourself focused on it, especially if money isn't there with it once was. Nick, what you got up next?
I'm gonna go with Yogi from.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah, had the Crew album. He was part of the Hitman for a while.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing I remember him doing was the Let's Get It joint.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that the last joint? Damn.
That's the last one I remember.
What was that? Which one was that one?
The Let's
Get It.
Was the Harlem Shake.
Yeah. What was that like? That was like 2002.
Yeah,
like
2002, 2003.
I didn't hear what you said it was, but I'm still over here lost.
The Let's Get It with G-Dep, Black Rob, and Puff joint.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I got it.
Another bad boy homie.
Yeah.
We gonna find some lineage up in here. Another bad boy person. Last time I saw him, when the machine first came out, Native Instruments would do things where they would bring in producers and basically have like the Native Machine dude remake their beat on the machine to try to sell them on it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the last time I saw Yogi, that he was on one of those episodes with that. So that's wow. Of course, who you got?
Warren G, as an MC and as a producer. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, I know what he's doing now, but I don't know why. Like, to me, Warren G is like next to Dre and Snoop. He's like West Coast to me, and obviously DJ Quick. But yeah, like I don't know what happened. I miss everything he did in terms of albums and production. And I think the last album that he released was the G Files back in 2009, but he's been out of music since. And then while I was doing research, I found out that he owns a catering company and he's doing barbecue, and it's called Sniffin' Griffins. And I'm serious.
I'm done.
I know good, man. All y'all going to hell. All y'all going to hell.
Yeah, you gotta cut this out, man. You got to cut this part out of the video.
All I could think of was the
y'all going to hell.
Pure massage song, man.
Yeah, like when she said Sniffin' Griffin, just splice it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god. Anyways, Warren G is catering barbecue now. So.
Oh my god.
Hey, I'm not mad at
barbecue.
I ain't mad at that.
I think the last time I heard from him was he did a joint for Jeezy.
Warren
with Neo singing on the hook. That joint, remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
What year was that?
Did that one.
He did that
like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, that was like at least 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, I know
you're talking. What?
Yeah, I think it's called
like
She Said.
Yeah.
It's called She Said.
She Said.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I heard.
So maybe the catering company came after that.
He put that sauce on it.
Different Griffins. I gotta.
Oh man.
Oh, so Ab, you should look this up. You out in LA? You should look up.
You think I'm not gonna go to Sniffin' Griffin?
Yeah.
I'll be right there. So my thing is, I'll say this. I don't have no issues. I mean, my thing is, you get to a point in your career, you may want to do something different.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: like every time producers or MCs are asked, like, you know, what are you doing? Nobody ever says, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I've moved on to this. I think except for MC Hammer, to be honest. He's the only one that's like, I'm into computers now and I'm done with music.
I don't think it's light and dark like that. I think it's, I think it's like, it's a point where it's like you still got a foot in the music. He may still be doing some management, or he may have still some.
No, but everyone always says, oh, I've got new music coming. I've got new music coming. Razzcast has been saying he's got new music coming for like Warren G said, I got new music coming.
Okay,
like,
so
Razzcast has been saying that for like 5 years.
Maybe he does have.
You're really upset about this, but when was his interview?
It's just so annoying because anytime you look at what these people are up to, it's like, oh, been active since like 1986 to present. It's been, but you're not doing anything. You haven't been doing anything for the last 7 years. Like, call it what it is. I don't know.
But I thought nobody wants to retire. Nobody wants to retire. Nobody wants to say, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, even if you're still making music, I say it all the time. People always tweet out, oh, I'm in the studio, in the studio, in the studio. It's like Love and Hip Hop. Everybody in the motherfucking studio in every Love and Hip Hop city, but don't nobody ever drop no music. So, I don't know what it is, but Warren G, Ev, check that out. By the next episode, let us know what's good with
I want to know what it tastes like.
Yeah, like for real. I'm curious.
Let us know what the Warren G ribs taste like. The next people I got, these are the dudes who actually made me want to make beats. I got the Beat Nuts out of Corona, Queens.
Yes,
Sir.
It's on my list.
From this right here, this is the album. This is the
self-titled. Yes.
Yeah.
Summer of like 90.
No equal.
And when I came back to Morgan, I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking producer. We gonna do scams. We gonna do because JP, back in them days, you had to do some scams. Like equipment, this is not no fucking bottom machine for $500. Like, and SP 1200 was like $3,500. That was SP. Now you still need some speakers and the turntable. So
right.
You had to invest
a couple grand.
Sure. Like, everybody I know who had equipment, it came from some type of scam or scheme.
But you know what, too? You had better music because it was like people who really were passionate about it were willing to put that investment into their craft.
Right.
So put that investment
but now it's like if you buy an iPhone, you got GarageBand, and now you're a producer. So, whereas back in the day, it was like, like I said, back in the day, they said G was the only nigga in the whole entire South Bronx with SP 1200. Like equipment was not easy to come by. Like, so at the end of the day, the Beat Nuts last seen their album Milk Me back in 2004, which wasn't good. Some of the hits for people watching, they did Uptown Shit for my man Curious George.
Yeah.
Off the Books with Pun. Sweet Ali, Roadrunner remix. The Lip remix was crazy. The beat, just like I said, these 3 albums.
They did that whole Chi Ali album.
They did. They did.
Crazy. This was the one with No Escaping This. No, this was this
No Escaping is not on that one?
Nah, it was on the next one.
It's on the next one. Watch Out Now is on this one.
Oh, yeah.
But again, just disappeared, and I guess it could be one of those boom bap things, like that sound got played out.
Plus they was on Loud too. You know how Loud folded and shit.
Right. And then for R&B person, I don't know, a lot of people notice another cat out of Philly, my man Mike City.
Yeah, man.
Mike City from Willingboro too.
Mike City from Willingboro?
Yeah, he's from Jersey.
Oh well, they got him as Philly, so I guess he
just like Wanye. I told you the story about Wanye.
Well, I don't fuck with them boys, the men niggas.
I know. That's why you looked at me.
It's a Wanye story.
I'm good.
Wanye's not from Philly, man. He just that's just the rest of the guys are from Philly.
Hey,
but they claim Philly.
Hey, at the end of the day, Prodigy was from Long Island, so
yeah. Tomato.
All right, Mike City. Again, here's the wild part about Mike. Last Scheme, A. Marie's EP that JP was talking about.
I like that joint he did on that EP too. Yeah.
That was the last time he was seen. But some of the hits for Mike City, because his name isn't big, he did Carl Thomas's I Wish. You already know about that. He did Dave Hollister's One Woman Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He did Sunshine Anderson's Heard It All Before.
Oh, that first album was crazy.
The whole Sunshine Anderson first album.
That's like him and Rich Harrison with A. Marie. He was like that with Sunshine Anderson.
And both of them dudes Mike City had a very hip hop, hard, heavy with the R&B. So, he had, if you listen to the drums on One Woman, Dave Hollis, on the man. The drums bang.
Drums was tough.
Hard.
That heard it
He
all.
did Full Moon by Brandy.
Yeah.
Oh, he did Full Moon?
Yep, he did that.
That's my joint.
Mike City had some joints, but then again,
Hits.
he just disappeared. You know, and I don't understand how you have these. Carl Thomas's I Wish. I'm naming some big ass records here.
That's a big record.
That's a big record.
Big record.
You know, so he kind of disappeared from that. But let me ask a quick question before we keep going forward. Why do you think? So I hear all the times like, yo, these producers can't get major placements. Like nobody's looking for a Pete Rock. I mean, let's be real. I don't even know if record labels exist anymore. Really, you know what I mean? Like in our day, we knew, oh, that's Loud's roster, that's Bad Boys, that's Death Row. I don't even know if labels exist. My thing has always been, why don't these cats like Pete and Preem and all these people we're naming, why don't they find a new MC and produce for them and put the shit on Bandcamp, put the shit on DistroKid, put the shit on iTunes? Like,
Damn.
Talk about it. What you mean by ego? What you mean?
Yeah, please.
Ego.
Well, I think producers. Well, I'm not gonna name no names, but I think people think that they don't have to do that. Like I know lesser known producers, and they think they don't have to do that. I can imagine somebody with placements reaching out to a young MC to do a project. I mean, Pete Rock just did the project. He did the project with what's the dude from Harlem?
Gazoo? I thought Smoke.
No.
Smoke Dizzle.
Like, but reaching out to new cats, I don't see them. I don't see them doing that.
Well, yeah, break this down a little bit more for me because my thing is so. See, I guess I'm weird because I don't look at it as like a prideful thing because you could flip it. I'm all about flipping shit. Like when Rick Ross got caught lying, like you could have been like, nigga, I was the CEO, I was the nigga getting the coke in, and you could have freaked your day job and not made it look bad and still came out looking thorough. Like to me, you could freak it like, yo, I'm just about finding the next new MC. Like you could make it on some like it don't gotta be like, oh, woe is me, nobody wants to fuck with me. So it could be like, yo, I'm looking for the next MC. Yo, send me y'all SoundCloud links, send me what it is, and whoever I find, boom, that's who I'm gonna rock with. And to me, that don't even make, at least for me, that doesn't make me look like I'm not looking at you like, oh damn, this nigga broke nigga gotta go look for people on site. It looks like you're attempting to bring on new talent, which again, will probably help you showcase your beat because don't nobody fuck with you.
Right.
I feel like that's
I agree.
like again, it brings in the jazz example because you know when Miles got older, he started finding the younger. I mean, it was known you find the younger, you know, fresher musicians who are dope, and you bring them onto your team.
Yeah.
Why cats in hip hop are not doing that? I have no idea.
Because I mean, I almost feel like it looks worse to be on a fucking milk carton on the side of a milk carton than it does to be like, yo, imagine if Primo came up right now like, yo, I got this nasty MC out of Brooklyn. I'm producing a whole album. Let's go. Mad niggas would be like, all right, bet. I don't know who this dude is, but if Primo or Pete Rock is rocking with him, they gotta be dope. I'm just, but like,
no, I ain't gonna say
yes and no.
Yeah, because Big Shug.
Big Shug is not even MC though.
Yeah,
right.
Preem is questionable with the dudes he worked with.
Well, here's the thing with Premier, and we talked about this, and he actually responded. I think it was when
he responded.
Right, that like I said, Prima's a very loyal person. Like, and the people in his team, whether they're super nice or super not nice, he's gonna make peace for them, which is commendable to me. But what I'm saying is, if Primo tells you, I found a new MC who's nasty. To me, the same way I know me and Ed was hyped for Prime. When I saw that shit with Royce, with Primo, with that first video, You Lose, it was like, yo, when the fuck is this coming out? I want to hear it. Imagine, it wasn't just about it being Royce. It was like, yo, this MC, if that he could have been MC Bobo from Brooklyn for all I care. If you spitting like that with that kind of beat, I'm all in. Let's go. So I don't understand how that don't happen.
I wonder if it's a label thing too. I wonder if it's the fact that, you know, you do, you know, Primo and Royce, that's two names. But if you do Primo and a no-name cat, maybe the label's giving them pushback. But
the label is theirs. Like the Prime joint is on either Royce or Premier joint. That's why they rock with a producer, a musician, so they wouldn't have to clear samples. So there is no label. That's what I'm saying. You could do this on DistroKid and fucking put it on iTunes, just like.
Honestly, I think it's the climate. I think it's the climate of fans right now. Everyone, like, who's getting excited about DJ Premier and Pete Rock doing a joint right now.
Well, here's the thing.
And
all I know is
our
mad
age people.
talking about it. Mad niggas is talking about this new Day Live with Pete and Preem.
Yeah, and half the people are like, "Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'll check it out, but I don't know how that."
I don't know. I feel like everybody's hyped for this Sky Zoo Pete project. You know what I mean? Like, and again, maybe they
want to talk to the people you're talking to, because everyone I talk to is like, meh, it'll be okay, I guess. Well, we'll see how he's doing.
Like the late 30s to the 40s. That's who's hyped for it. You know what I mean?
But what's wrong with that?
There's not enough of them.
But
there's not enough for them.
But to me,
because like how many people our age actually buy in music?
But here's the thing: look at it like this. What does it cost you? I'm sure Pete can record. If I could record in my crib, I'm sure Pete can. Right. That there's a mic right there. I record albums here all the time. I'm sure Pete can go out, and if he don't have it, he could buy it. So is it going to cost you nothing to record? No. Is it going to cost you anything to get it mixed or mastered? Probably no. Is it? He still
got to get samples cleared though.
Nobody's clearing samples no more, because who we suing? Bandcamp? Nobody's clearing nothing.
I mean, Pete. I doubt if Pete just gonna throw something with samples on it uncleared.
No, I'm pretty sure them samples on that album wasn't cleared.
With the Smoke Dizza joint.
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't think they was cleared.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing with Static Selector. Look at him up on iTunes. I'm guaranteeing you, Show Off Records is not paying. You know, and that's the thing. Like, when you're a producer, you understand. Yo, like I always tell people be like, "Yo, Kill, do we gotta clear these samples?" And I'm like, "Look, my nigga, look at it like this. There are 12 beats. That's 12 different samples. Let's say each artist says, you know what? We like y'all. We'll cut you a break. We'll clear it for a G, which is highway robbery. Who the fuck got 12,000 to even pay for that hookup? Like, and that's a sweet hookup. Like, yo, just a flat out G. But again, who got 12 G's to just write a check to those artists? So nobody's clearing nothing because nobody's getting that money back in. And to me, the lawsuits, I haven't heard about a big sampling lawsuit in a minute. And I'm not talking about Jay-Z or people like that, because there's no, back in the day, you were suing the label. You weren't suing the producer or the artist. You were suing Def Jam. You were suing this Goliath company that was worth billions and that you knew you were going to get money from. All those
but then again, you're not going to sue unless you know you're going to get some money from it. So it's
right.
Like if a record gets real big, they're going to come.
But again, we're talking about for underground. What underground?
No doubt. That's where they can get away with it.
So, but that's what I'm saying. This Pete and Sky Zoo is not going to get big. Like it is.
And that's exactly why. And that's exactly why Damn. Isn't going to get
confidence, Bring it back again. I'm not. What you say, Al?
Good question for you then, because it's actually a good conversation, but it ties into the conversation about like producers sound the way they do because they can't sample anymore. Yeah. Now it seems like it's an open field, so shouldn't the beats be better?
I agree. I agree too, but I think maybe, to be honest with you, bro, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't understand. I don't understand why more people aren't taking. Like I said, Static Selector put out an album like 2 times a year. Like, I can't even keep up with this nigga's discography. He samples on every song. I know he's not clearing shit. Madlib, I know he ain't clearing.
Oh, hell no.
You know what? That was the last time I heard about a lawsuit. One of the Madlib Stones Throw beats ended up on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. They always played the Madlib joints.
So that's the thing. Like when we go back 20, 30 years ago to what was the name with all the Pete, what the fuck is the nigga from Love and Hip Hop with like 100 kids? Light skinned nigga.
Peter Guns.
Yeah. When they did that Uptown
Steely Dan joint.
Yeah, when they did the Uptown, that's how I remember. They got like 100 kids. But when he did that, it was one of those things. It was underground. They did it. Then the label scooped them up, and in the whirlwind of all of that, they never cleared the sample. You see what I'm saying? So if it would have stayed underground, Steely Dan ain't messing with them. But they got the label deal and just took off, and somebody
took all of the publishing on that.
Yeah.
Isn't that Daylight's issue right now too?
Yeah.
I don't know what Daylight's issue sounds like just a horrible contract. Like, I don't get it. I watched the interview with Sway in the morning, and them niggas sound confused. I don't think they know really what.
So it's a contract issue, but they also got to clear those samples for the streaming platform.
Right.
De La's always in and around hoopla about sample clearance. Like,
but
they are always.
De La have to do it, but nobody else. Like, that's what I didn't understand from the interview. Why does De La? Everybody who's streaming, like what? Like, that's my question. Why does De La have to pay?
Tommy Boy gotta clear it. You got like the Beastie Boys. They on Capitol Records.
Right.
They got bread. They clearing them samples. Tom Silverman ain't trying to pay for that.
But you mean they never paid for the samples from 30 years ago?
Nope.
Didn't they get sued by the
They
Trump?
got sued.
Yeah, they got sued.
No, they settled some lawsuits, but they ain't never, what I'm
They
saying?
never clear those samples. Nope.
Damn, well, okay.
JP, nope.
All right, issue. Well,
that's why it's not on streaming now, because it's like, we not paying. Y'all don't.
All right, time out. And I don't want to get into this too much. Well, I want to be mindful of people's time. So this is, like I said, this is going to be a good show. But here's the thing. So with Tommy Boy, Latifah was on Tommy Boy. Naughty by Nature was on Tommy. So are they in the same situation?
No, but how many samples was on 3 Feet
High and Rising?
Probably more than all of they discard combined.
Yeah.
True.
It's like a heavy. They got like 100 samples on it.
Prince Paul used 10 samples per song.
Yeah. You got to remember that group that did sue them. They only had like 5 seconds of a sample on there. They sued them for 5 seconds.
Right. All right, cool. All right, Gadget, give me another.
No, you skipped me, brother.
My fault, Jay.
I know when I didn't go.
I apologize.
No problem. Sean C and LV. Now, I mean, of course, you know, one of my favorite joints from them was from Jay's first album, the joint with Mary, Can't Knock the Hustle. But the last time they were heard, I just looked it up. The last time they did something was 2013 on Wale's album, The Gifted.
Okay. What joint was that? What track?
The Curse of the Gifted.
Okay.
That's the name of the track. So, I mean, of course, you know, they did a lot of joints on one of my favorite Jay albums, American Gangster. They did a bulk of that joint, but yeah, so it's been like 6 years. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on with them. They had a dope sound too. Like they had some hot beats. They had some hot joints.
Can I say Puffy's name again?
Yeah. It's crazy how Puff got the theme throughout the whole thing.
Can I say Puff's name again? Because supposedly the hoopla was like Puff was like, look, I could get y'all in the studio with Jay.
Yeah,
but I need half your publishing or half your. If you look at that album, it says produced by Sean Puffy Combs. I think before it even says their name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So again, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. Well, like, yo, we get studio with Jay. Maybe Puff said again, let me manage you. Niggas said, nah, we good. We gonna do our own thing. And I mean, they did a couple of joints here and there. They did some stuff for Ghost, but they didn't do anything that was of the point of after you do a Jay album, everybody should be knocking at your door.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like they got the work that you should have gotten from working with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
And basically giving him maybe one of his biggest albums that us backpackers like. I know, Rec, you don't like it.
No. Listen, I've grown to like that album.
So okay.
We talked about it. Me and Kill had a conversation, right? and I did my due diligence, and I've listened to the album. I actually have grown to like it.
What joint that they did? They did that joint on. Speaking of Puff, they did that joint on Puff's album. Press. Who was that joint? Yeah, the dude that was signed to Puff. I seen.
Oh,
that I am joint.
The lyricist bull.
Yeah, that joint
nice.
Crazy that they did.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That dude is nice. And he left Puff too. I know what you're talking
about. Didn't Sean C and LV do the whole American Gangster album?
They didn't do the whole.
They did the bulk of it.
They did most of
it. They
did the bulk of it. Pharrell did a joint.
Pharrell did too.
No ID was on there.
Yeah, they did the bulk of it. They probably did about 5 to 6 joints. They did about 5.
Yeah, at least that.
They definitely shaped that album though.
Yeah. And one of my joints on there is Sweet. Like that joint.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites on that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess up. What order am I in now? Who didn't go? Nick?
Back to the beginning.
Back to the top.
All right.
Back to me?
Yeah.
Okay. My next person is Megahertz. After Bad Boys for Life, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think he might have did a Loon song after that, and that was it.
Damn. Was it before Loon moved to Europe or after?
It was probably before he started moving to heroin.
Didn't he do the Best of Both Worlds joint with Jay?
He did a couple joints on that album.
Yeah.
He did a couple joints on that album.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He did the first single.
And then he did
a couple joints. He did.
He got yourself a gun.
Got yourself a gun. Yeah.
Okay. He actually did a joint that a lot of people off of Bilal's first album, For You, which was crazy.
Yeah.
That's how he got the Got Yourself a Gun joint.
Yeah. In that joint.
That's the connection. That was
now, I will say this. Now, Gadget, what was the first song you named that he did?
Bad Boy for Life.
And who's that bad boy?
I didn't want to be the one to say it. It's always
last time I said something about Puff, people blew me up for 7 days. I'ma just let it.
Take that.
We name somebody somehow, some way. Mr. Sean Combs
is in there.
Take that.
6 degrees. Sean Puffy Combs.
Right. Now the thing I did read about Megahertz was he said that the death of his father was something that kind of pushed him away from the music. I don't know why, but doing the research, that's something that I came up. But it was funny because when doing all the research, they said Vibe actually named him one of the top 10 most valuable producers.
Wow.
So to kind of like drop off the face of the earth after Bad Boy for Life, Got Yourself a Gun. Brett, give me like 2 more people of yours, man.
Dorsey, Megahertz, he's on my list. I mean, for everything that you guys already said, a guy who you said killed earlier, like when producers do stuff, you definitely expect that their discography is going to take a jump. Yo, what the fuck with Dame Grease? I swore
on my list,
I swore Dame Grease was going to have like this whole conglomerate of Harlem. Like what the Diplomats was, I felt like Dame Grease should have had a part in that at some point for what he did and for what he brought Harlem back. That DMX album was crazy. And I didn't like it when I first heard it. My boy had to like lock me in his car, and I was like, my bad. Like, real. He had to lock me in his car. I was like, okay, you right. I fucked up. That album alone should have had him doing some crazy stuff for the remainder of his career. I don't know where he's at. Last I heard, he was doing something in 2011 called Goon Music. Let's see who else I got in here. I think Easy Mo B was somebody I had on my list. Yeah. And Carlos 6 July.
Yeah, Hitman.
And who was he down with?
Take that.
Then wear back.
Take that.
I sense a pattern here.
But the crazy part is, like, it's not planned. I didn't sit down with nobody on my list and be like, yo, it's genuine.
Yeah, it's like I said, stuff is just coming together.
That's crazy. But those are the last 2 I got.
All right, Ev, who you got left?
I got Lord Digger.
What
happened to Lord Digger?
No, if you ever follow him on Facebook, just unfollow him.
Whoa! What happened?
Dog, he goes off on Master Ace every single day.
Really? Yeah, I saw one Epstein podcast where he was going in on Master Ace.
About what? Like, what is he saying about him?
Man, he ain't really from Brooklyn. All kind of stuff. Like I'm the nigga that gave him street cred. Just
it's like 50 and Ja Rule.
Ace had sex with his wife.
Let me guess. He made the Biz Markie doll too. Fuck out of here, man. They kill me with that shit, man.
Are we still live? Oh, okay.
That nigga that fool done said he ain't even from Brooklyn. Like, damn.
Yeah, man. I was like, damn, why you so mad at Ace, bro? Like,
hey,
Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who was the last one? I'm sorry, brother. I didn't hear you, man.
Clark Kent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What happened to him? I also got Mathematics in here.
Yeah, from the Wu Camp.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Matt.
I never understood that whole Wu Camp because I never understood why they didn't just swoop in when RZA was too busy. So like, Fourth Disciple and Mathematics and everybody else, why like when RZA wasn't around, why like they didn't pop up in place. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I see that they doing like a Wu-Tang TV show now, but I'm sure any of that info out of that. But yeah, that's one of the things that always got me. All right, JP, who you got left?
I got Trackmasters. I got Dre and Vidal.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Touch of
Wow.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know, Kill. Maybe you could fill me in.
Wow.
You're gonna start messing with Philly.
Yo, keep talking for a second. I gotta find something.
Oh, shit.
They did something on Confessions, right?
They did.
That was the last joint they
They
did.
did. They did that. They did the joint on Confessions because Ryan Toby wrote on that track.
Okay. And I got Six Figure Digger.
Yeah, Cam Boy.
Cam Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what.
Six Figure Digger.
Yeah.
He's I follow him on Facebook too. He's actually teaching hip hop
Okay.
somewhere, not Harvard, one of Ivy League schools.
Brown or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, this joint right here is a dope magazine. It's called 215. It was a Philly magazine. And it's actually a very dope joint. They have a whole about 12, 14 page history on A Touch of Jazz. So it goes history of everything. I think I know Dre and Vidal is still cooking, but I think I think that whole Touch of Jazz, like, this tells the story of like what most of us always think. It's like, yo, everybody's in the studio, everybody's collabing, and all those ideas are coming into this melting pot, making great music. Then when things start to fall apart, like Dre and Vidal went this way. And I forgot there's another two who went another way, because it's like Dre and Vidal.
And it was
Kev Brown in that article?
Nah, Kev is not in this article. That's
like, crazy.
How is that?
That's crazy. I don't understand how Kev not
in Odyssey.
Hold up.
Yeah.
This is before the Magnificent joint. This is like the original Touch of Jazz. So all the people was working on music and
Jill Scott.
So it was Carvin Higgins.
Yeah.
It was like Vidal and
Ivan
and Carvin.
Ivan
Carvin.
Because they were doing a lot of stuff for fame. They were doing a lot of stuff over there. My assumption was always just when you're cooking together, you know what I mean? A lot of different ideas come. I guess the money wasn't right with Jeff because same thing. I'm like Gadget. Kev ain't down with Jeff no more, right?
No.
Right. So I would assume maybe the money wasn't right. So then when people start breaking off and doing their own thing, I just think maybe you don't have that same off because, like, you know, I'll scan this article because it's a dope article. Like, and they really just are talking about how, like, Jill Scott, like, was just up in the studio, just, you know, fucking, like, singing around the studio. Like, so it took a whole bunch, the whole conglomerate to make those projects. You're all in the same studio. You're all building off of each other. And then, like, you know, you may feel like, oh, me and Kill did enough. You know, we don't need Wrecking Ev, you know. But then at the end of the day, maybe we all did need each other to make this incredible music. Because I think once they left, outside the stuff they did for Usher, I don't think they've ever had, like, those super duper, you know, that work like that or whatever. Like, yeah, so that's something crazy. Nick, who you got left?
I had Dame Grease as well. The funny thing about Dame is if you love It's Dark and Hell is Hot, that's his album. Swiss Beats had one song.
Yep.
He's the dude who, you know, when you think of DMX, you think of Swiss Beats instead of Dame Grease.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
That's crazy.
Another dude is Jay Swift, who did the Far Side's first album. Of course, we know what happened to him. It was drugs, but just sad because that was a great album, a great sound. I would have liked to see him continue. Who else I had on my list? K-Def out of Jersey. You know what I mean?
He's still putting stuff out though.
A word?
Like, yeah.
Is he on Instagram?
Definition.
Yeah, he's doing some instrumental albums too.
Okay, yeah. I need to find him then.
And
yeah, so
he got that secret sauce software where they extracting drums from the sample.
Yeah, he does have that. I heard that.
That's what you was talking about the last time I was with you. That he got that some real shit that he invented or something.
I don't know if he invented it, but he's using it like he posts on Instagram. Was it the Mardi Gras drums? Like
it was something. You saw that?
He separated the joint.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, Isotope R7 is one of them softwares that does that. And it'll strip that shit down. It's called Isotope R7. And it'll strip it down in a way that you can get everything else out of it and still keep the depth of the actual sample.
Shit.
If you tweak it, if you EQ it just right.
Jules from the engineer.
It's not a cheap software though. It's not cheap by any means.
It should be if it could do that shit.
Right, if we could do that.
Sound like somebody gonna have a cracked code for that joint. what you say it was? Isotope Sonar 7.
We'll talk after this show.
We'll talk about it offline.
Yo, and the wild part is I'm not mad at it being expensive because I want shit to go back to being expensive.
Yeah, so everybody can get it.
Right.
Yeah.
If it was $20, then everybody would be doing it.
That's probably being the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for shit to go back because I mean, it's almost like people like the producers. Like I see it from DJs too. You know, they're mad at Serato because now everybody's a DJ. You know, the real life photographers I know who are photographers now they're mad at it because they could buy a DSL camera at Best Buy. Back in the day at Morgan JP, no. If you were videotaping, you had a big ass video. You know, this whole you just walk around with the phone. No, you knew my man Cisco used to do that. He'd be at parties with the big camera and the big ass like if you wanted to do these things back in the day, if you wanted to be a photographer, goddamn it, you was gonna be a photographer after you done spent it.
All that money.
So, the whole check, your whole reimbursement check. And keep in mind, we in college, so that 5Gs could have went to a car. Like that's how much we wanted this life, and we wanted to do this. That it was like a car or beats, and it's like fuck it, I keep walking. Like that. That's how much we wanted this. That it was like nah, like. And so I don't mind it being expensive, but yeah, we'll talk more offline. JP,
wait.
No, I went already.
All right, I got you, JP. Yeah.
Now finish. DR period.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another guy. So
Yeah.
I remember him from MOP first album.
Yeah.
Smooth the Hustler. Then it was like boom, gone.
Yo, same thing.
Oh, he did do some Dipset stuff.
Last time I saw him was on that same shit about the machine, trying to show people. They was trying to show how he made Annie Up and how
I saw that
Annie Up on the machine. Same thing. So, you know, that's the last thing I heard from DR period. And again, it's just like I don't get it because I feel like I got some dope MCs that I fuck with, and if I can find them, I know a DR period nigga still living in Brooklyn can find one, but you know, it is what it is. Portia, you got left?
I had Clark Kent, that was already said, LES, and then also I was in a Twitter conversation about who had the best 4-album run in history of hip hop or rap, and people kept guessing all these artists and whatever, and this dude comes out and says, well, everyone's wrong, and this thing went viral. There's like 7,000 replies and God knows what, but anyways, this dude comes out and says, no, you're wrong, it's Ice-T. So I'm like, okay, well, if dude had the 4 best albums in the entirety of rap music, then what the hell happened to the producer? So Africa Islam, what happened? Where is he? What is he doing?
Africa Islam.
Yeah, like I honestly like haven't heard that name in years. Like, yeah, I don't know. If you produce for the guy who holds this title, I mean, shouldn't you get placement? I don't know. I'm out here talking about EPMD, and if he's like, no, you're wrong, it's Ice-T. And I was like, okay, no diss to Ice, but like, yeah.
Okay. He did have a tight run though.
Yeah, if you produce music for an SUV detective, that's
you better get some placement. So, anyways, those are mine.
All right. The last ones I got, I'll start with these cats. Yo, the beat miners, man.
Yeah. I was about to say, when somebody gonna say that?
Yeah.
I felt like come on, Into the Stage, The Shining, you know. To me, after they left, at whatever the beef was, and I still don't know to this day what it was, as soon as they left Duck Down, to me, Duck Down just went downhill. You know what I mean? I remember that For the People album. It was the Posse album, and I remember being at Morgan, putting that shit in and hearing it, whatever the fuck that was. I don't know who was doing them beats or what, but the beat miners just, and then, you know, they had this joint Brace for Impact on Focus, which I love.
I love that album.
I'm gonna give it another spin.
I'm gonna have to.
Have some bangers on.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you this, the joint.
The Last Emperor joint, I love.
Yeah, the Last Imp joint, but the joint that's on here that's crazy is Devastate. That's Us. No, not that. It's a joint called God, where is this joint? Take That with the Flip Mode Squad. Just go to Take That. Just go.
Take That.
Take That.
The joint with Karen Wheeler is tough.
Yeah. I mean, the whole
There are some songs, but
it's dope. Like, I mean, then they had another joint. It was something fully loaded with Static. That was from 2004. It just didn't have that same oomph.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Somebody sent me a picture the other day of Evil with Walt in the studio with the tag, we working.
Yeah, I saw that.
But you see what I mean? Like, you have to do that. Like, you got to put out We Working, and
they are doing a new Black Moon album.
Hold on. Was it We Working on music or they really work?
Working on food. Working on food, damn it.
Oh, man, wow.
On food. Evil D and I like food. That's my guy, though. I fuck with Evil D, man. Evil D is on the mix.
I hate his intro or whatever. That
Evil D is
on the mix. Kick it.
Come on, kick it. Sound like Bernie Mac in comedy shows. I'm sorry, Kill, man. I'm on vacation, man. I'm taking a flight to the city next tomorrow. I'm happy.
So yeah, the Beat Miners. I also had my man Dave Hall.
Oh yeah,
Dave Hall. Who's that?
Dave Jam Hall.
Untouchables.
Dave hits. He did off the Strictly Business soundtrack. The Jeff Bridges You Called. He did Boca Mary's first album with the 411. He did intros. Let Me Be the One.
Wow.
He did Brownstones. If You Love Me.
Okay.
Fine. He did a lot of stuff on Grab. But last time I seen him, 97. Don't know what happened.
Damn.
Yeah, 97. Like we going back. Somebody said LES. I got Organized Noise. We all know that Rico had the drug problem, and you kind of saw in the documentary that once they started blowing up, my man, what's the last one? Is Rico, Sleepy, and
Ray Murray.
Ray. Like Ray was like, I was stuck doing all the fucking beats. Like
right.
So that kind of explained that. Nick Wiz.
Nick Wiz. Cellar Dwellers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Wiz, to me, he had in the 90s, there was a dope run of producers that a lot of people, never really made big noise, but Nick Wiz, Kenny Parker from BDP.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I got Nasheem Myrick.
Yeah, I got him. Oh, that's right.
CONY.
Yep.
Yeah.
CONY. That shit was hard.
I mean, that joint was crazy. Of course, he did Who Shot Ya, who now Tone from the Trackmasters is trying to come back 30 years later and say,
Oh, God.
He's trying to take credit for it?
Yeah, basically, he's saying that Nasheem found a loop, but then Puff wasn't happy with the way he tried to do the drums, so he had Tone come in and kind of redo the drums and make it fuller. So I guess it's the I found the loop. To me, the loop was fine. Like, I mean, good with the loop, but Tone is now, and I'm always like, is there like some 20-year like shut up clause on something? Like, nigga, why you ain't say this shit?
but you know what? I can believe that because of the LL Cool J I Shot Ya. Like, it's almost the same drum song.
Yeah, the drums are very similar.
I can see it.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is just I'm like, nigga, why you ain't say this shit 20 years ago? Like, can you not say it? Is there a 20-year gap on when you can accuse stuff? But again, the last time I saw him was the late 90s. And Quiet as Kept, he did a joint on Pusha T's last album before Daytona, The Darkest Before the Dawn, which is crazy. It's called Keep Dealing with Beans, Beanie Siegel. And the track is crazy, and it was dope to see the name again. But again, like, to disappear from 2000 to 2017. But who was he on?
All right.
Here we go.
Puppet Master.
I'm just saying, here we go again. Two more people. I got Solid Scheme. They used to do Das Effect.
One of them died, though.
They one of them died?
Yeah, I think one of them died.
Oh,
damn.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Last time I heard from them was 95 on Das's Hold It Down album, and they only did 3 out of the 8 tracks.
Whole sound changed on that album.
It wasn't even that. And the last person I got, I feel like he's always forgotten when it comes to Common. Doug Infinite.
Yeah.
Wow.
No ID. That's cool. But Doug Infinite. I mean, on he did One Too Many on his quotes. He did a lot. A lot of people don't even know No ID had a solo album.
Yeah, the Black Album.
Yeah, the Black Album.
Yeah.
He did a lot on that. Last time I saw, I didn't even notice he did joints on Master Ace's Long Summer album.
Really?
Oh, word, definitely. I gotta check that.
Him and No ID had a sample instrumental album called The Sampler out in 03. But looking him up, if you go to Doug Infinite, DUGinfinite.com, he has some joints up there that he's done. He's remixed. You know, he had a remix of Big's Everyday Struggle, but even that seems like it's from 2016. So yeah, I don't know. And now let me ask you this quick question before
one more. I got one more before you do that. Y'all remember the white dude named T-Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one. Did the Double X Posse not gonna be able to do it?
Oh shit!
And he did wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Not gonna be able to do it. You took that back.
Can you do it? I was in the 7th grade. Shit. Killing him.
And I had one more on my list. Nobody.
Nobody.
And he's actually credited with doing Can't Knock the Hustle. Sean and LV was co-production.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know who did what. But
that's crazy.
The last big record that I remember him doing was the Big Pun record. He did the remix for what was the Big Pun song?
Not a Player?
The joint with Joe?
He did that remix.
I think he did the remix, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that sounds familiar.
And here's the crazy thing. Why don't MCs just vanish? Like, here's the problem with producers vanishing, because all this shit has to vanish. Like, like with an MC, you can just be like, you know what? I'm done. Put the pen and pad down. But why don't MCs vanish? Because here's the wild part. And this is no diss, because these are two.
Some MCs that vanish. If we go back to the 90s, there's a boatload of MCs that's
it's a couple
one and done.
Yes, but what I mean, but not one and dones. But I think every producer we're naming, they weren't one and dones. They had some points, you know. So this isn't like some dude who had some random track on track 18 on big. Like most of the people we've named have numerous bangers. You know what I mean?
Still, according to they're still somewhat in the background, unless you like us and digging to see who's who. Like the MCs are going to be in the front, so of course they always got a face.
And then the reason why I asked that is because I saw this the other day, and this is no diss, but do y'all know that Positive?
Here we go.
Did y'all know? It's not a diss. Do y'all know Positive K and MC Lyte have a new song out called "Still Not Having It"?
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I didn't know that.
Yes, they do.
See, there you go.
I just want to throw out some dates here. The original "I'm Not Having It" came out in 1989. I was in 9th grade.
Right.
I don't know. 30 years later, when I'm 44, we need a "Still Not Having It" in a cartoon video. I don't know. 30 years later, they didn't disappear. So why are these producers disappearing? And hold on, I forgot one more person. Sean J. Period.
Yeah.
I heard the hoopla with him was something with religious. He got Steve, and it was like, I don't want to sample because that's stealing and that's a sin. That's why
he's back though.
He's back though.
He's back. He's
back.
The Mason Betha owners.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He's working with the he lives down here. He's working with the cats the Beat Conductors.
Okay.
He does stuff with that company Tracklib with the samples.
Samples.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's dope. But here's the thing.
He's behind the scenes.
And this is just a quick question. Tell me this. Why do you think somebody like, and I kind of know the answer, but I just want to see what people think. And it's an R&B question. So if anybody wants to pass on, that's cool. Why can't somebody like Babyface get a placement anywhere? Or Gadget, do you think it's the same for R&B producers? Do you think Rick Harrison will look like a nut if he tries to find the next A. Marie? It's kind of like Jay said, you made me make another one. Like, is Rich Harrison, does it look bad if he finds a new singer? Like, can Babyface find another Tony Braxton? Or that just, like, does that whole pride thing work for them too?
I think it definitely works for them. I think, producers of that magnitude actually want a label. Like, you can't be Babyface and putting stuff on Bandcamp. I mean, you can't.
I agree with that.
I agree with you.
But then here's the thing. If there aren't any more labels, do you just disappear?
I mean, you try to do something with Apple or not Bandcamp. You gotta go straight to Spotify or something, man. Like,
yeah, they're gonna try to do a bigger deal.
Yeah, you gotta do a big deal.
But I mean, if Chance can get down with Apple, baby, I mean, it could just be I'm the old nigga in the club. Like, you could just be like, yo, that nigga played out. Don't nobody want to fuck with Babyface no more. You know what I mean?
Look at the sound of R&B.
He'll always have an audience.
Yeah, but he just did a song with Ty Dolla $ign. So he's still
out there. He just won a Grammy a couple years ago. Like he still make music.
He won a Grammy for that joint with him and Tony, right? That Love Now.
Yeah.
Dope album. A lot of people didn't hear it. Was a very dope album. I love
Tony Braxton fan, man.
It kind of told the story of the beginning of a relationship to the end of it, you know. Right. So I actually thought the album was crazy. But all right, cool. That's what it is. Gadget, give them all the info. Where can they get at you? Scratch Mag, all that good stuff. The podcast, everything.
ScratchMagazineTV.com, YouTube.com/Digital Hustle Films. I got the print version of Scratch Magazine Digital coming out next month.
Word.
The original Scratch Magazine is out of business. They can come try to sue. Fuck them.
I like that.
I'm like the young dudes now. If they don't care, I don't care. For real.
I feel you.
I wish I had this attitude 12 years ago.
Get all the information, yo. If y'all are in the DMV and you're looking for some place to do your podcast, Gadge, give them all the info for that too.
Oh yeah, Pod Blocks. I'm here right now, baby. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Oh, that's why he sounded so clear. I'm like,
yeah, clean and crispy.
Yeah.
Got the professional mic in front of him.
Yeah.
The DMV is a cool place. I love going up there, chopping it up with them. You're gonna get a great podcast. You're gonna have great energy up there. I love it.
Popeyes is across the street.
Yo, going up there is like D&D to me. What it would have been back in the day. Like you never know. You know, like shit. Fuck it. I'm not even, I'll come back to that because my brain is no, I remember now. I was chilling with Gadget and Roddy Rod just walked in. Now, for people who may not be outside the DMV, Roddy Rod was an incredible producer who was down with the whole Gadget. Meet me out there. Low budget, exactly. Low budget, very DMV thing. But if you know Odyssey, you know Kev Brown, Roddy Rod is right there with it. And it was Bug. I'm in there with Gadget and Iran. I'm cutting hair, and Roddy Rod walks in, and I'm like, oh shit. So it's definitely a dope place to hang out, chop it up, and everything. So please, how can they get at you for that, Gadget too?
Podblocks@gmail.com. That's the name of the office, Podblocks.
All right.
Correctly.
No doubt. I can't wait to see the Scratch Mag coming back. So I think that's dope.
Kev Brown is on the cover. You know, I'm trying to put people out there that I like. Like Scratch Magazine at the end of their days, like they had Little John and somebody on the cover. I'm like, I mean, Little John's a producer, but nobody who bought Scratch Magazine wanted to see learn his production tactics.
Great.
Oh man, all mad at me, but it's okay.
Yeah, y'all
the only one up here. Ev, give him everything, good brother. I know you got to bounce.
Mental151 on Twitter and Instagram is Ever.Cease.
And do me a favor, all the people who send all the hate tweet to me, send it to him too, because he's on Twitter now. That goes too. He says a lot of hateful shit too, but I just like so send that to his way. DJ Rec One, give him all the info, man.
Oh man, the website is coming, working on it. Twitter is DJ Rec One, and Instagram is Worldwide Rec One.
Now, here's the thing, right? I'm saying this first before I say this. This is no diss to you. You know, you are my brother. I want to bring something up. Porsche. Rec has been saying he's been working on his website for a long time. Okay, so
I need some help,
and I'm sure he is.
I need some help.
No, I'm just putting it out there because Porsche is like, if you're working on music, nigga, where the music? So
I need some help. I need some help.
Sometimes people need some help. See, I'm just trying to put out there that people don't have bullshit because I know you're not, Rec. But
I need some help. Like straight, like real talk. I need some help.
Right. So I just want to say that Porsche, because Porsche may be like, this nigga been saying he working on a website since I met him 3 years ago. But I believe he's working on it. You know, so maybe
we're gonna talk offline because I honestly do need some help.
All right, we're gonna talk. And Warren G, before you leave, when are you on the Warren G's
Sniffing Griffin?
You know what? When I get to sniffle, what is it called? Sniffling and I gotta get
Sniffling.
I'll be sniffling and looking for some barbecue now.
Yeah, they gonna get us when this comes out.
No, Ev, you are the resident person in LA of apartment 5.
No, I'm going to find the barbecue. I'm serious. Nothing on the game. Yeah, I'm gonna find the damn barbecue.
Here's what I want you to do, even better. I want you to find it on a Thursday. And while we bring it back, I want you to
bring it back to the show.
While we're doing,
I'm ready to fly out to LA to go find it.
I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear I ate it yesterday. You remember the time we had Poe on the show? Prince Poe was at Ev crib eating right there. That's how I want you eating Warren G's ribs and pulled pork right here while we ask.
Wow, found it.
JP, give him everything, man.
Wow.
IG and Twitter, JPaz Music, JPaz Music, JPAZ Music.
All right, no doubt, Nick.
Big Bro will have it linked up. Y'all say a Roddy Rod. Is that the dude that was in that group called Massive Peak or Massive?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked him. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And the thing with Rod, I first heard Rod back in 2003 at a Beat Society. And that nigga, everything he put on was just crazy. So like I said, you'll run into people. Kev Brown may be there one day. You never know who you may meet up with Gadget hanging out with him. So definitely a dope place to hang out at. And Porsche, what's all your info, miss?
At Cherchez La Porsche on Twitter and IG, but I'm boring on both, so it's all good.
Yeah, all right. Keep putting them tweets out, Porsche. I got you. Got your back. Your back.
My Twitter and Instagram are boring. It's all good.
Instagram, she ain't active, but she know what she be doing on Twitter.
Don't
get stirring the pot.
Yep. And y'all already know this will be Kill 889 Hotmail. I mean, a Hotmail. I'm getting.
Oh shit! Black Planet. Black Planet. Kill 889 at Black Planet.
I'm like, hey, MySpace. Speaking of Black Planet, I don't even want to get into it.
You have mail. Remember when it took like 2 minutes to download a picture? These kids got it easy, B.
Oh god.
Yeah, and you couldn't even be on the phone at the same time. You'd be like, on the phone. Like, you could be on the phone while I'm on the internet. Yeah, these kids don't know how good they got it now. But Kill 889. I mean, I'm about to.
Oh, man, get out. Damn.
Oh, y'all can email me at kill889@hotmail because that is my but on Twitter and IG, kill889. Thank y'all again for a fun show. I always say if it's JP, Ev, and Nick up here, it's gonna be a long show. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. I appreciate all of y'all time. Gadget, everybody, appreciate y'all. I will check y'all next week.
Hey,